This video discusses about microwave passive devices. In that, first one is attenuators. So these devices are basically used for transmission of microwave signals. So attenuators are passive devices used to control power levels in a microwave system by partially absorbing the transmitted signal wave. So in order to reduce or absorb the transmitted signal, a resistive element will be placed inside the sender conductor. For example, consider a coaxial line fixed attenuator where this is the coaxial line, inside of it a absorbing material is placed inside it. So when the electromagnetic wave travels inside this, because of the induced current on the resistive film, this will result in power dissipation leading to attenuation of microwave energy. Another method is keeping a this is a lossy material on sender conductor. So whenever the electromagnetic waves are transmitted through this, the will get absorbed and so the power level will get reduced. Another way of adjusting the power inside the microwave the conductor is by using a micrometer or a flap attenuator. So here, depending upon by adjusting the micrometer, by turning it, this resistive element can be adjusted. The moment of the resistive element can be adjusted inside the conductor. So when an electromagnetic wave is traveling through this, because of the absorption by the resistive film, the power of the signal will get reduced. So how much power has to be attenuated can be adjusted by using the micrometer screw. Another way of adjusting is by using an attenuator flap. So movement of the attenuator flap will adjust the amount of signal that is transmitted through the conductor, through the waveguide. Usually a maximum of 90 dB attenuation is possible and with a voltage standing wave ratio of 1.05. Another method of reducing the power is by using a precision type variable attenuator. So a precision type variable attenuator consists of mainly three parts. That is, first part is this is a rectangular waveguide. So here you have a rectangular to circular transition which is denoted as RCT. Then you have a circular transition, circular waveguide, and then a circular to rectangular transition. So the mode of propagation in rectangular part will be TE10 and inside the circular waveguide will be TE11 and inside the rectangular waveguide will be again TE10. So here inside this resistive cards are placed where this resistive card is being denoted as RA, RB and RC. Here RA and RC will be fixed cards and RB will be variable card which can be rotated by 360 with respect to fixed resistive cards RA and RC. So if the resistive card RB is kept at an angle theta, the electric field can be denoted by two components, that is E cos theta and E sin theta. So if the resistive card, the parallel resistive card, that is E cos theta, so the electromagnetic signals which are parallel will get absorbed by this resistive card and whichever is traveling in the other direction, that is E sin theta, will get transmitted. So all the E sin theta component will get transmitted and E cos theta component will be absorbed by the resistive card. So the final transmitted signal will be equal to E sin square theta. So this is basically a two-port network where we can call this as port 1 and port 2. So the S matrix of this attenuator will be 2 by 2 matrix. So also we can write the attenuation as alpha is equal to the total transmitted the total signal, that is E divided by the transmitted signal E sine square theta, which will be equal to 1 by sine square theta, which can be also written as equal to S12 or S21. As it is symmetrical, we can denote S12 is equal to S21, and also there is no mismatch between the junctions, so we can write S11 is equal to S22 is equal to 0. So the final S matrix can be denoted as, the S matrix is usually written as S11, S12, S21 and S22. So here S11 and S22 is equal to 0. So S12 and S21 is equal to sine square theta. And the VSWR achieved by this attenuator is almost equal to 1.